Okay, hello everybody. This is the second video that I am just recording again. I'm at that point still. It's super hard to want to record. It's hard to want to make the content just because I feel so terrible most of the time. And it's tough because sometimes I think I feel great. But man, a lot of times with the combination of anxiety and just the way I am physically right now, it's really tough. So as for my plan that I talked about in the first video, as a disclaimer, I'm just going to have to say right now, if I say I'm going to do something, it's an idea that I have, right? It's something that I'm going to try, but at the same time, I might quickly change my mind and say like, wow, I was not able to do it as well as I thought I was going to be able to do it. um, I might find an easier method of doing something. So if I say something in the video, you can't take it as in stone. Subject to change is what I mean, because I'm doing my best, um, or what I think is the best. Whether that is my best or not, that's debatable. But the truth is I feel like I'm doing my best. I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to pass out. I don't want to And some people might say, "Oh, that's crazy. You're not going to pass out." Dude, I might. I feel like it, whether I will or I won't, um I feel like I'm going to. So, yeah, the things are like in the first video, I said I was going to walk on the treadmill 5 to 10 minutes a day. Have been not haven't done that. I haven't meditated or done any of the breathing work. I'm just literally trying to lose weight. And to do that, I have to reduce how much I eat, right? I mean, that's a smart thing to do. Just start out by reducing how much you eat, and so that's what I'm working on, trying to find the lesser of the evils, and that's really hard to do. My family is in town. They're actually not in town. They're a ways out. They're about half hour from here, and they're from out of state. And they're going to be here for like 4 months. And this is my family that I grew up with, so they eat the way I am have gotten myself the way I am now, right? So today at lunch, I didn't eat. I woke up, I had coffee. Um, thought, okay, mental state, anxiety's okay. I'm able to drive okay. So we drive down there. Um, and old man cooks me a burger, and he cooks like a plate of hot dogs for us and the kids, right? So I had a burger and two hot dogs, a thing of chips, some Funyuns, and two cookies, and a Diet Pepsi, and what else? I had like a little cup of lemonade, and then I drank water. I don't know why, but like when I eat, I feel like instant shit. Um, I feel really bad. I get bloated really fast. But then I just describe what I ate, and like, no wonder is maybe that's it. That's why I feel like that is because I mean I did eat two burgers or one burger, two hot dogs. It's like that's the struggle, man. That's how I eat though. That's legit. Like that's how I get down when I eat. Like if I go to fast food, if I go to Carl's Jr., which is my go to place, my favorite place to eat, I'll have two meals easily, easy. And if I don't, I'll be like, oh, I'll try to do better, and I'll get one meal and an extra fry. So I mean, I just have to work on doing better when it comes to eating, and and just be really kind to myself, and realize that this is a journey. It took me a long time to get to this point. It's going to take me a while to get out of this too. So that's what I hope the videos are about: being responsible, holding myself accountable, um, trying to be more comfortable with being on camera. I finally found my light, so that's nice. I was looking for that last video and I couldn't find it for the life of me. So I finally got the light. So the lighting's a little bit better. At least I think it is. You're gonna have to give me input on that. Um, so so yeah, just one thing at a time. Um, I'm gonna post up like a YouTube short. And I got myself like a line of questions that I'm going to just answer. The first video was about 45 minutes long, and keep the new videos down to like 20 minutes. My action camera kind of gets hot up close towards the hour mark, and I don't want to like stop and then record and then record, take a break, and then start recording again. I just don't. I'd rather just do it all the way through, and we'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna start posting content, and I don't really care. So looking over the plan, which we're gonna get to. This is what we're gonna get. It's supposed to be a 90 day reset plan. Phase 1 is supposed to be movement, 5 to 10 minutes on the treadmill, 5 minutes stretching. Didn't do that. Nutrition, been just trying to eat better. For the most part, like yesterday, my highest weight was 313 pounds. I'm down to 306 today. So I don't know where my phone is. Oh, right here. So yeah. So let me see here. Was that Thanksgiving? I think Thanksgiving was the 27th, maybe. Yeah, okay. So on the morning of the 27th, let's see here. I'm going to have to cut this part out here. So morning of the 27th, I weighed 313.4 pounds, and I ate like shit that night. But it's funny because the next morning I still lost weight, even though I ate like complete garbage on. Oh no. I'm thinking that not correct. So no, Thanksgiving weighed 313 pounds. The next day was the day that we went to a friend's house for Thanksgiving, and that was 309 pounds. Okay, then I ate like garbage that day, right? And then I went up to 310, so that's not a huge jump. And then I ate really good last night, like compared to how I usually eat. Like, so what I did is instead of making spaghetti like normal, I made spaghetti normal for the boys, and then for my honey, and then for me, I put the hamburger and sauce on vegetables. Huge difference, bro. Like, it's pretty incredible. Like, I just did it. And I wish I could have that kind of willpower all the time. But it's different when I'm at home. It's a little bit easier. But like I said, I had, like today with the burger and hot dogs. I mean, it was made for me. Yeah. Anyways, so from the Friday, the 29th, to which was, our Thanksgiving that we did was Friday night, to what, this morning? Let me see, 29th to 30th. So 28th, I weighed 309. Gained a little bit of weight for Saturday morning, and then I dropped because I ate well. Just one day, one night, I ate well, or better, I guess. Not even the best. And it was down to 306. So just one night, if I can just keep doing this, then that's partly why I'm doing these videos, is to keep myself just like hanging on there. Like, I want to do better. I really do. And I don't know if you can tell this about me, but this is like something I really want at this point. And I hope I can show you, or anybody, myself mostly, how I'm going to get there. And that's the whole best part about doing this. So yeah, so I woke up, I lost, so what, that's 4 pounds. I lost 4 pounds just from one night of eating relatively well. And I didn't even eat the best either. I just, swapped out noodles with vegetables, and then I made hot cocoa because I'm a Christmas guy. I love me some Christmas. I love cheesy Hallmark Christmas movies, and so I made some hot cocoa with some little bit of heavy whipping cream. That's the magic. That's how you make it. So yeah, I lost a little bit of weight. That'll be something we keep track of on the vlog too. So the other thing I was gonna do, oh yeah. So as for the diet, I'm just hanging in there. I'll keep everybody posted about what I'm doing and my strategy for that. But this whole like high protein, fiber, nutrition part 2 of the plan, that's not been going through. Mental health regulation. I was supposed to be doing 3 minutes slow breathing. Haven't been doing that at all unless I'm feeling anxious, and then I just kind of I can't even breathe through my nose. But and the journaling, still haven't done that. That's what I plan on doing, though, is trying to figure it out. I'm practicing NoFap, and then tomorrow, there should be no reason why soda should show up in my life. So tomorrow, I'm going to be starting the Water Gang. That's my one habit I'm trying to get, is kick the soda. I put a short up earlier that I drink 92 ounces of soda, and sometimes I do that before noon. So I'm gonna join the Water Gang, and I'm gonna try for 150 ounces. I don't know if you can see that well or not. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to do. Is just drink water. That's like my goal. Can you see that? Oh shoot. Water Gang hashtag. It's blurry. You can see it though. Water Gang. That's going to be my one and only habit that I'm like solely tracking. And then we're going to build habits on top of that. I think hydration is a good starting point. If you eat like shit, you're going to dehydrate yourself. You take in a bunch of caffeine, you're going to dehydrate yourself. You take in the soda constantly, you get bloated, tired, fatigue. Working on all of that. So I think just starting one step sounds sad, but I'm going to try that. So, and then baseline tracking. Obviously, you've seen that I'm recording my weight every day. That's actually something I am doing. Log symptoms. I have not been doing that. Note sleep pattern. Have not been doing that. Take one talking head clip about your starting point. Okay, that's kind of what I'm doing now. And then we're not going to get into the social media stuff. And that's phase one that I'm working on now. And as you can see, I'm not working on it very well. But we're going to get there. I'm not even going to start day one. It's not even a day one thing yet. So the next thing that I was going to work on is I have this really long list of questions. I'm just going to start out with the number one question on the list is, what inspired you to start your health recovery journey? And there was no definitive moment on when I wanted to start my health recovery journey. But it's been recently that I've realized that it is a recovery, that I've done so much damage to my body at the up until this point that it is like a recovery. Like, I have a hard time walking. My circulation is very poor in my limbs, my lower limbs. So, it is almost like recovery and therapy and that kind of thing, which is crazy to think about. So I'm trying to change the way, always in the past, it's always been mostly anxiety and the weight, right? And then when I first started gaining weight, I'll be honest with you, and the first time anxiety kind of popped up was when I broke my elbow. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but I got yeah, there you go. You can see the scar pretty good right there. Yeah. So I broke my elbow. I had to get a radial head replacement, and that was in 2021, I think it was. Maybe sooner than that. It might have been 2020. And so I hadn't really ever had a panic attack up until that point. So, and my weight was probably, I want to say like 240 at that time. And I was actually doing really good. I was like riding my bike. The way I broke my arm is I rode my bike. I like cycling. So that's something I'm into. And so I didn't really have a lot of health issues up until like the COVID time frame. And I broke my arm, and which was detrimental to my activity. Like, I stopped moving around nearly as much. I had to recover from that. It took a long while to recover from the radial head replacement. I had my first panic attack taking the oxycodone. And that wasn't actually like my full blown panic attack at that point. At that point, it was like just anxiety, like severe anxiety. It wasn't heart palpitations and sweating and actually feeling like I was going to die. It did feel like I was going to fall over, but it wasn't quite my maxed out worst panic attack I've ever had. But it was definitely like a precursor to what I was going to experience. And that was taking the oxycodone. They gave me that for my surgery. And I remember having to, it wasn't worth it to take them anymore, because I was literally, it wasn't really doing much for pain anyways. And then it was like it was causing anxiety like while I was sitting there watching TV. And then then there was a period of time. So then that's when like things started to gradually change. Started gaining more weight, got into the relationship that I'm in now. Which that's not blaming the relationship. That's taking, that's my responsibility within the relationship. But I definitely got comfortable. Um, the woman I'm with is definitely, she's very far different from anybody I've ever been with. She's actually been there. She's um, not that believe she's a caretaker to me, but at times she has that, um, she has taken care of me, and I've taken care of her, and in our time of need, and that's different. I've never really had anybody in my life up until that point, so it was really easy to be comfortable with her, and not take life so seriously, and depend on somebody, and all that. So um, not blaming her at all. I mean, it was definitely my apathy and stress during COVID time. I don't know how it was for you guys, but for my job, people got laid off. I'm still at the same company, and I don't even know how. Like it's incredible how much things have changed there. Somehow I made it through all the layoffs and stuff like that. So it was just a really high stress time period, and then I started self medicating. And I started getting pens and stuff like that. And then that's when the first like solid um panic attack happened. It was actually at a work meeting. I had a full blown panic attack kind of in public. And when I mean public, I think there was about like anywhere from 12 to like 18 people, and we are at a meeting that I was actually facilitating. And and I chopped it up to like the self-medication. And so after that, I started thinking, well, okay, this is what caused this. Is this, and then so I quit this self-medicating, and then I thought, well, is this post-acute withdrawal syndrome? And I went down that whole rabbit hole, and I think a lot of that had to do with that. And then some people might even argue that that's still what I'm going through. But so then I started doing better again. I had a period of time where I went to like every doctor possible, cardiologist. They said it was my weight. Went to ear, nose, and throat because I had some thyroid nodules going on, and then went to a cardiologist who put me on blood pressure medication. And then where did I go? Went to a PCP, and to my primary care. They put me on some medication for anxiety, and that shit was everything that I've tried for medication for my anxiety has been terrible. I would rather suffer through the anxiety than have to deal with the side effects from the anti-anxiety medications. So again, I had to taper myself off of the one. I'm not going to say which one, but it was wicked. I had to literally take it and cut the tablet in half, and then in half again, to taper myself all the way down off of it. And then I was able, at that point, I finally met with my doctor again, and then she prescribed me something else to help taper me even off of that. So that's the med I was on. I had to taper myself off that bad all the way down, and then I had to take another med to help counteract to where I didn't completely lose my shit after getting off of it cold turkey. So I finally got myself off of that. But then by this point, my weight has been even worse. And so, I think that's a lot to do with it. My digestive health is really terrible and everything like that. And so there was no moment. I mean, I've always thought that I needed to lose weight. And then I call it the year of the doctor. That's after the first panic attack is when I decided to like, okay. And everywhere I went, man, was like, well, here's a funny thing. Like, so I went to, my back went out. My back went out while I was dissecting a pig for a anatomy class at the college, and it was during COVID, so we weren't actually having it in class. I had to take it home, and so we're dissecting this pig, and my back went out while I was doing this, like halfway bent over at my kitchen table, and so I went to a chiropractor, and he couldn't even like put me in place. Like, he saw that I was crooked and everything. He couldn't even press on me. I was like screaming my ass off because it was so terrible. And then so I'm sitting there. It's so bad, and he just looks down at my belly, and I just remember him looking at my belly, and I went, God, it's my weight. Yeah, it's my weight. And the same with the ear, nose, and throat. Went to them. They're like, a lot of your symptoms would go away if you lost just 10% of your weight. And back then it was 280 pounds. Now I'm 304. Back then it was 280. I mean, now I'm even worse than I was when they were telling me that I needed to lose weight before. So I kind of always thought it was weight loss, right? I always thought weight loss would just fix all of my shit. And so now I'm realizing that it's not really so much weight loss. It's more of a recovery plan. Like, I slowly let my health deteriorate. Now I got to recover my health. Now I let it deteriorate. Now I got to let it recover it. And that's where everything shifted for me, was, learning that it's more of a recovery journey. So there was no definitive moment. But here recently, changing my my mind and my aspect to it, and focusing it more on like a health recovery journey has been what's got me to look at this as a channel, and put in this plan, and realizing that even though I'm putting in a plan, I still have to implement things at a pace where I can keep up with them. And that's really hard for me to do, is to, to put all those things in perspective is really tough. So that's it for this one. I'm going to keep it at 20 minutes or so, just as like a check-in. I just want to be consistent with the videos. I'll try to put up a short, and yeah, we'll go from there. Thanks for tuning in if you happen to.